On the Zoom? Okay. Are you live on the Zoom? Okay.
So we can still have Zoom, but we can't have a meeting.
We
with
can't
us on it,
participate and make any, vote. You can't vote while you're.
But the public can be on Zoom.
And technically you could be on Zoom as a participant
Right.
to just listen, but,
Gotcha.
Yeah,
right, that's this understanding.
yeah, you can be, yeah, you can't prevent
So
you
it's-
from being on there, you just can't.
Back to the way that it was.
Everyone
before,
get a
basically.
copy
Yeah.
of this? I have 4 copies.
Everybody keeps thinking the legislature is gonna do something, but they haven't.
Oh, gotcha.
All those 4 are the same.
You guys got it already?
Yeah.
We'll go through it. Okay, so everyone has a copy of the agenda. Is there any changes, adjustments?
Just that I spelled bylaws wrong, sorry.
It
And
looks like it's supposed to sound.
so we don't have a printed copy of the draft minutes. But did everyone get them via email? And are we ready to go through and approve that? Actually, I should stop and say declarations of conflict of interest. Is there any? No. No public comments online, I'm assuming.
No.
So, okay, that's okay. Okay. So now December meeting,
December 2021. Please note that the ones I just handed out are the 2020. Literally, I printed this before I fixed that.
Oh,
I didn't get a chance to read it, so I can't really say.
take a minute to read it. I can show you my screen.
You think it looks good?
I breezed it. Well, the first version, which was from last year. I was like, these notes don't make sense. What is going on? I just have to pull up the right.
When did it go out? Oh, here.
So, got it, okay. Need to do through the, did you put that on? Yeah. So we really probably should just get out of the way the bylaws review and elections of officers and the schedule. Is everybody okay with that? If we skip to those 3 line items for new business? Because I'm sure the major discussion points are going to be going through the rec plan.
Did anybody make a motion on the minutes?
Yeah,
Motion to approve. I'll second
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
There being no nays?
it. So you want to skip to new business?
Yes, is that all right?
Hmm.
Okay. So the bylaws,
Those I have.
Do you?
we need more than one copy, or I can go make some copies.
Well, somebody can use mine. I've read mine.
Oh, you've got one?
I have electronically, so. Do you need a copy, Fran, of the bylaws? Right. Oh, I got bylaws, yeah. Okay.
Okay. What exactly are we doing?
I think this is just to show us that there was bylaws within our PRAC, which I was not really privy to.
Oh,
At least not that I remember in any of our past meetings going through.
you know, the
We
board
can't.
has, to. If you want to make changes, the board, then they have to go to the board for approval.
I was gonna
But the
say,
planning commission and ZBA, they review their bylaws once a year.
And I don't ever remember, I mean, prior to me being chair, I don't ever remember going through the bylaws.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, I don't recall it being done either.
So is there any changes or issues with any of these bylaws that we need to take to the board? Otherwise, I think it's more or less just for our reference, right? We don't really have to do anything with them.
Just to stay on track with what
Yeah.
the committee's supposed to be doing.
Now, the, I don't know if that was ever changed. Did it ever get changed to add the alternate?
Well, yeah, there's one or two I haven't read them recently, but I think isn't there a provision for at least one alternate, if not two?
It should be two, but I'm just not seeing it under the membership size. That's why I was questioning it. I would have thought it would have been there. That's
I don't have them in
nice.
front of me. I thought it was in there. Because didn't at one time you had two alternates?
We did, because I started as an alternate. But I'm not seeing that it's in here.
Is there a provision for one in there?
No, there's none
Really?
so far. Here, do you want to read it?
Yeah.
There's the first 2 pages. I read those.
And then the only other, I mean, no, it doesn't even say it under amendments. I thought maybe it was there.
I'm not sure if we can change that.
you can recommend to get it changed, and then they can
Yeah.
say yes or no.
Well, I thought that was in here.
Well, according to that, it was drafted up in 2012. So that's only 10 years ago.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever been changed.
This is,
Although, let me look at the copy. Is this the copy I sent you, Lois? And I'm surprised it doesn't have across the bottom adopted by.
At the very end.
They were adopted. Oh, does it have it at the very end? Yeah, and amended
Adopted.
on March 13. Adopted February 14th, 2012, and amended on March 13, 2012, so it's before my time. But,
yeah, it was when Larry Lake was here.
Larry Lake was, maybe towards the end of Larry Lake's,
Yeah, it was at the,
yeah,
I remember he's who we sent the-
signed up for
Yeah.
originally. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay. Okay, is there any other comments or changes or suggestions of changes that we need to make known to the board?
I'd like to table that until she knows more.
Okay. All right, well then
You wanna
let's.
change it for the alternate, or is that what you're talking
That's-
about?
yeah,
what she's
Yeah,
looking to
that's what,
see.
that's what Cheryl's looking at now.
See if there was,
Oh,
I mean, I
haven't
know that
changed
it
it.
got through the approval process within the board. I mean, I don't think there was a question about that. I just think that it wasn't, the bylaws weren't amended.
And she might have the correct bylaws in there too.
Yeah, that's true.
no, I think these are the same ones you're reading. I don't see that in there either.
Can we amend it to add the alternate in there?
We can,
Make that
Asked it.
recommendation to them to do it.
we can recommend. I think we should recommend 10 of them.
Up to
Just-
10.
Just
Yeah, up to
up to
10.
10.
I'm sorry. but We have to have a sense of humor.
2 whole extra committee. Yeah, no, this is the same thing. They've never been amended. But so I'm not quite sure how an alternate,
It would go in that one, up to 3 alternates or 2 alternates or whatever. I'm right.
Yeah,
I would put it right there.
Membership size.
Yeah, on the membership size, there's 5 members plus up to,
yeah, you just could say, yeah, and up to 2 alternates or
Sure.
something. Is that something you want to recommend to the board?
absolutely.
Do we need to make an official motion? Or,
Motion to add to the membership size up to 2 alternates.
Second,
We have a second.
I know, I'm just
Yeah.
waiting for her to be done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Giving her a minute. I got a hot date now.
There you go. God bless.
You don't need this back. I'm gonna write on this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to read back the motion?
No.
Uh,
Yeah.
Wow, we all have a hot day.
Motion to add up to 2 alternates. Membership size. And the area. Of the membership size.
Okay. You want to do a roll call?
Hubble,
Yes.
Butler,
yes.
Cosgrove,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes. Okay. So bylaws done. How about meeting resolutions? The dates for our next 2022.
Are you skipping election of officers?
Oh, yeah, okay, we can go in order, sure. You really want to.
Right, yeah.
I was going by the order of the files that were sent to me. One file at a time. All right, election of officers. Who do we want to start with? There's chair, vice chair, and secretary are the 3 that we have to vote on, right? Okay. All right.
I will nominate, I do a motion that we do it as the whole block, or however the one-legged woman wants to put it. Hoppy, however Hoppy wants to do it.
Mhm.
Are they all full though?
Who's our secretary?
Me,
Oh, did we change it?
Yeah, from, I think Denny was it.
That's what I was thinking. I wasn't sure if we changed it. Yeah, you had it. Yeah, you took it last time, didn't you? Because Denny didn't want to do it. It's been a really hard job.
it's been tough.
So is mine.
Oh, you guys get paid extra for those jobs.
Yeah.
Did you know
Oh,
that?
we do?
It's huge.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll have to check my check stub next
It's,
time.
it's huge.
Okay.
We have a second on that?
I'll second it.
Motion to keep the officers the same as Melton as chair, Cumberland's vice chair, Butler as secretary.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call vote.
Butler,
Yes,
Cosgrove,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Yes.
Now, Linda had mentioned that there was in, I think maybe in the minutes of the township meeting, that she had stated that she was not going to continue on with the PRAC.
She put a email, I think it was, in the last board packet, or Ron put it in there, that she was declining to be reappointed. But said, I believe, I don't remember what it says exactly now, but I believe it said she would serve until her replacement was selected, which is what the bylaws say.
And
And
when's her timeframe up to?
December 31st.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if there's no appointment and if she does not resign, she's still a member of this committee.
Yeah.
She could be a member of this committee 3 years from now.
I don't think it'll take that.
No,
long.
but you get my gist,
Right.
because according, I mean,
but
Yeah.
at some point, the board can say,
they can,
no, she's off.
they would recommend
Somebody else.
somebody else to
Yeah.
take her place. Unless she can put a letter in to resign.
I just know that at the planning commission, there was the person who just never came again. But there was still a spot, and it was like, no, because we missed. 3
Well,
meetings, you
yeah,
could've
sometimes people don't continue even though they have the option to, and sometimes they do. It's just, yeah, I mean, you can't make someone come to a meeting.
gone. Right.
This is
You
kind
know.
of worded a little wonky, in my opinion, because it's not.
Is that a technical term?
This is very technical. Wait till I talk about the kitty wampus.
Which
So-
part are you talking about?
Under officers, it says that the very last sentence and the end portion of it says, those officers whose terms as officers have expired and who remain as active members of the Park and Recreation Advisory Committee shall continue their services as officers until elections are held. And that's not a true statement with our committee because we're not elected officials.
But they just mean election of your officers here, like you just
Correct.
did.
Okay,
Yeah, they
so
don't
not in
mean,
a public election.
not in a public
capacity.
election,
Okay.
right, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so.
Now, interestingly, I could just point this out. It says at the first regular meeting each January, the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee shall select a chairperson and a vice chairperson. It doesn't even talk about secretary. That might be another change you want to make, that they select a chairperson, vice chairperson, and secretary, since that's what you've been doing. Because it only talks about a recording secretary
You're right.
later that will be appointed by the township board. So if you want to have a secretary, I would, which you have been doing, which there's not, I don't see a problem with that. Then I think you would want to have the board change the bylaws to say, shall select a chairperson, comma, vice chairperson, comma, and secretary.
I would like to put that motion in, how Cheryl said it.
So back up under bylaw review, kind of.
Yes, yeah.
Well, under the officers section, change the wording to say shall select a chairperson, comma, vice chairperson, comma, and secretary.
What section are you saying to put that under?
Officers,
So section 2,
second sentence, second line, where it says shall select,
so under A,
shall select a chairperson,
okay.
comma, vice chairperson, comma, and secretary. Because see, it doesn't really provide for a secretary.
It doesn't, and then if you go further into that same section, you've got a B, you've got a C. You really should move the recording secretary down and or just make an E as a secretary. If we're gonna,
Oh, I see. Yeah, where you say,
Define-
oh, with the duties.
yeah,
No, there's a difference between a recording secretary and a secretary.
Yeah,
I
there
know.
is.
I'm
So-
saying we don't delineate under, so B is talking about the chairperson responsibilities, C is talking about the vice chair. Then the recording secretary, we don't have a secretary position defined.
And so what do you want to say? Yeah, so then you would add D, and D would be, the current D would become E.
Right.
But what shall the secretary do?
The secretary is responsible for signing not necessarily motions, but
Resolutions.
thank you, resolutions.
And other secretarial duties.
There you
I
go.
mean, we don't know
Carte
what,
blanche.
or other, yeah, and other secretarial duties.
I think she's gonna be in charge of making pretty maps next time and
A lot of things.
Yeah.
make.
Signing official documents, do you just want to say?
Sure.
The secretary shall be responsible for signing official documents.
Sounds good.
Correct, documents or Parks and Recreation.
Committee documents. Official committee documents.
And think she can go to the board and start signing documents.
I think that's a tremendous idea.
Come in and start signing checks.
The duties section of it is pretty. I mean, what are we supposed to do after we pass the recreation plan? It doesn't tell you what else we're supposed to do. That was like their only
As
concern.
requested by the township board. Or
They never
commission.
request anything.
I know, I'm just saying, it's a.
Or at least, no, I shouldn't say never, not very often.
Perform other duties and.
Well, we can
responsibilities.
rectify that, Brandon.
I'm just saying, it doesn't say much. I
Right,
mean,
yeah.
I think their
I
only
think,
concern
yeah.
was the recreation plan.
You know, Carol was retiring that
You guys
year.
work on implementing it, actually. With the
It doesn't-
doing stuff in the.
Doesn't say though.
Right, well, yeah. I think that's our only must job.
Yeah.
You're supposed to prepare an annual report to the Township Board of Trustees of the Parks and Rec Advisory Committee's operations and the status of planning activities, including recommendations regarding actions by the Township Board related to Parks and Recreation.
Well, we kind of give them monthly reports, don't we, instead of annual reports
Well, they
lately?
get through approved minutes.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, they kind of get monthly
We
updates.
do our capital projects every year and submit that in as part of our budget.
Right, that's a planning activity.
Is it in form of a annual report? No,
In the form of an annual report? No.
no, I'm saying it's, yeah, it's not.
I wonder if we should add to this is that the chair must give a verbal report to the whole township board.
That's actually part of the liaison responsibility that Cheryl kindly does.
I do that every month.
See, I wanted you to get up.
I don't, I wouldn't mind,
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind that, except I'm always working while they're meeting.
Yeah.
There would be lots of
Yeah.
meetings that I wouldn't be able to attend.
I guess everything else is under perform other duties and responsibilities.
other, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that carte blanche other.
All right, well, I don't know.
Okay, anything else?
No. We better move on, huh?
Okay, so we have a motion by Cosgrove, second by
I'll second it.
in the section of officers, quotes, shall select the chairperson, vice chairperson and secretary and vote and And D, a description of secretarial duties, signing official documents, etc.
Official committee
Yeah,
documents.
official committee documents.
That's be a roll call vote for all those.
Well, that can be one vote.
Right,
And Cosgrove, Melton,
Yes.
Hubble,
yeah.
Slopsima, absent, and Butler.
Yes.
Now,
Now the meeting
back
is-
to the resolution dates, right?
Now that we know Fran can sign that.
Yes, now Fran can sign it. She's official. The only date I
Not
was gonna look
technically,
up-
they're gonna approve it first.
True, oh. It's always those little.
But
things.
we've already done it that way for the last 10 years, so.
In September. Wow. Okay, I don't see any issues.
And this is usually the first Monday of the month. I'm, what?
Second
Or-
Monday.
I'm sorry,
Monday.
the second Monday.
That's the same way
I got you.
you're wanting it, right? That's what the
I mean,
proposal
it
is.
works well in my schedule unless someone else has a request to they want to discuss changing it.
Works good for me.
I mean, it works good as long as I put it in my calendar and then we're all good.
Oh, yeah, I'll make this motion then.
Motion to adopt the resolution 2201.
Correct.
A second.
Okay.
Melton,
Yes.
Hubble.
Yeah.
Butler,
Yes.
Cosgrove,
Yes.
Two. Rec plan. Oh, as an email, oh, you did send it out to everybody, okay. Sure, I'll just give an update from the census standpoint, I just didn't know it was sent to everybody. But it was. Okay, I had to find your email, sorry. All right, so the board's comments on the rec plan. The first one was that the bookmarks are out of order. So the book
And that was,
of the appendix?
and I never even looked to see, that's a comment that Ron made.
Mhm.
I don't know if anything was out of order or not, but remember your comment was that you wanted all the appendices numbered, page numbers. So I added page numbers to all those, and many of them I had to rescan because I started out adding page numbers through the Adobe program. And then some of the pages just didn't wanna let me do that. So I made some little labels and numbered the pages that way. So I had to rescan the document with the little sticker on it. So those are the page numbers. They're not changing. But they're what we had before. They follow the table of contents.
Yeah.
So anyways, the bookmarks, if you look in the, I was just checking them again. If you look at the PDF copy that I sent you with all the appendices on it,
Mhm.
you know, if you click on Appendix A, Appendix B, if you go down, it goes to the places it's supposed to go to. Now in mine, it's not wanting to load.
I was gonna say, I don't
Like
know.
for B, C, D, E. That's how you would look at it. You would look at you open up your little bookmark icons over on the left-hand side. Do you know how to do that?
So normally it would give me a link. Oh, I see. So
I
it's
like
not,
this
it's
little-
not linked, like you can't click on the Adobe, but you can on the bookmark on the right-hand side or on the left-hand side column.
Yeah, in the PDF version that's named 2021, 2025 Recreation Plan after Township Board adoption with appendices, you can open up that little bookmark icon over on your left-hand side. You know what that is, right, Tom? That little thing right there. If you're over on the left side of the document, are you in the Word version?
No, I got it. This is off the website.
Okay. Let's see, how do you find bookmarks on that?
Document outline.
Oh, it's,
Who added the acknowledgements?
I
though?
don't see
Good idea.
it should be
That
right
was
there. There should be a
recommended.
bookmark icon. Now
By the
you
board?
have the pages, but you
By the
don't have a
board?
bookmark icon.
Because they took out the sentence.
Well,
We'll
that's-
get to it, but they took
but
out the one sentence.
You are satisfied that
and
everything's
another
good.
part and made a
Well,
whole
here, you
separate.
can look at mine.
Well, no, I believe you.
Yeah, no, you can just look at mine. I got a mouse over here. But so if you open up excuse me for just moving that. So here's the document at the beginning. Okay, and here's the first 28 pages. And then,
There's the, okay,
yeah, and then see Appendix A,
bang.
B. Now that one's slow to load.
That's fine.
C, D, E, and you can just go on down and see that all of these things, that's what they're named in the table of contents. And then you
Right.
can go to any one of the appendices.
And so if I had that
Independently.
there, I saw one here. Here's one for further history, see Appendix C. So if I wanted to do that, and if I had it here, I could just go to Appendix C.
Yeah, you could. Now, I don't know how you change where you don't see pages over there.
That's an that's an operator error.
Yeah, that's just.
I don't, it's somebody,
something- There's probably a little tool thing you need to toggle somewhere that will give you those icons over there. Like on mine, I see, if I point at the top one, it says page thumbnails. Okay, and then the next one, and that's what you're seeing is page thumbnails right there.
Mhm.
And then the next one I have is bookmarks.
I found it. I got it.
Did you find it?
Yeah, if
see?
I just hit the right button, like I
There
said,
you go.
operator error.
Yep, yep.
I just
So do
like
you-
how it's all numbered now, like I was.
Do you
Saying
see, are
before.
you seeing, Melissa, all the appendix?
That's unbelievably cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you can go down to the last one. So anyways,
Do you
even
want
though
to
in the
add-
PDF document, in a PDF document, when you open it, it's got the page numbers up at the top. But
They never match.
they do on
Do they on
this.
there?
Yeah, because
I'm just
They have
saying.
to.
they have to.
Yeah, I see that.
Right,
No,
yeah.
We're good.
So
Most
you
documents, they
really
don't match.
don't have to number all the appendix pages if you don't want. But you wanted that done, so I went ahead and did it.
So basically on Lois's notes, number one, bookmarks are out of order. That issue's fixed now.
That's taken care of.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, these are my everything that the board talked about. So then the next one is on the cover page. The other version had adopted October and then a blank. So that just
It's
needed
an
to be
updated
updated.
date.
So it was adopted December 14th.
Right.
So, when I finalize this document, I'm gonna be changing, and I'm not in the Word version right now. Okay, now I'm in the Word version, because I'm gonna make these changes live. So we can have this done, because I need to have this done. So I just changed on the Word version, December 14th, 2021 to black. So that's not red anymore. So that's our goal, is to go through all of the red things.
Yeah, okay, and so are the reds what we think is the corrected wording?
It's what the board, yes.
I got you. Okay, so,
Right.
Wanted to
right,
change.
so,
Right.
and so that one's fixed. So if we go to the next one, we're at
Page 5.
acknowledgements, page 3.
Well, on
Acknowledgement.
page 5, Township Parks and Recreation Goals, the board didn't make any text changes. So I'm trying to get down to page 5 here. But Ron asked, and I'm skipping the acknowledgements thing for right now. I'm just skipping that for right now because I want to follow these in order. There were not any text pages on page 5, which says Whitewater Township Parks and Recreation Goals, but Ron had a comment and he asked that maintenance be part of the committee's discussion in the future, like fallen trees. Okay, so he's recommending that in the future, there be more, a paragraph in here about maintenance or something. I said, well, that's kind of taken care of in the budget, but,
Don't we already do that?
well, we planned for it in the budget, but he's saying it's not addressed in here, but he didn't ask for any text changes to be made. So, and also, well, yeah, this is a very full page. If we add anything right now, it's going to change the whole page numbering. And that's not going to be good.
No, so we don't want to do that. Okay.
Right. Then the next one is on page 7 under population summary. I reworded this first sentence because it said something about the census data will be incorporated later in 2021. Well, it's not late, it's 2022 now. So I just said 2020 census data will be incorporated as it becomes available, which is, I think, about all we can say, because we don't, as I said, and you guys saw Networks Northwest, they're extremely frustrated. They don't have the 2020 census data either. And everybody is just waiting for this to come out because a lot of plans and planning is hinging on having that data. And for whatever reason, it's not out. So are you guys good
Takes
with
over
that
every
sense?
year. Yep.
That sentence,
2 years.
2020 census data will be incorporated as it becomes available?
That's great.
Yep.
Okay, I'm changing that to black. Then the next one is on page 10, transportation systems. This is where I didn't know, this is where the committee needs to give some advice on this. But let me get down to that. Okay, so where it's in red on page 10, that says as far north as Eastport, a distance of over 20 miles, the board's recommendation was to add something more descriptive of the chain of lakes, not just the water trail. And that's what I put at the little asterisk, modify this phrase to something more descriptive of the chain of lakes, not just the water trail, because the chain of lakes is much longer than the water trail. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So,
So how about, chain of lakes watershed is 75 miles, some of northern Michigan's most beautiful waterways,
is it
including,
75?
it's 75 according to the Elk Rapids Chamber of Commerce.
Okay,
That's the Elk Rapids chain, right? The Elk-
It's connecting Elk Rapids to the northern Antrim County chain of lakes.
yeah, it's not the Elk Rapids chain of lakes. The chain of
No.
lakes goes all the way from like Elk Rapids to Sheboygan. You know, so that's all the chain of lakes. You
I
can
think it
actually,
says the Elk Rapids chain, which I think it's just up to like.
Plan?
Mile Lake or
Don't they call it the Elk
Intermediate.
River chain of lakes?
I think that intermediate.
I was
is
always
Central
thought
Lake. I think Central Lake is part of it, but I don't think intermediate.
This thing
Intermediate
says the
distance
Elk River chain of lakes watershed is a 75-mile long waterway consisting of 14 lakes and connecting rivers
lake.
in the northwestern section of the lower peninsula of the US state of Michigan, which empty into Lake Michigan.
and the board's comment was that this says as far north as Eastport, a distance of over 20 miles. But that's really about the water trail.
Yeah,
And they wanted something more descriptive of the whole chain of lakes, not just the water trail.
Something more descriptive, you, just by stating that there's 14 lakes and
Well,
75 miles.
75 miles.
if we got rid of the red totally, put a period, I'm just talking here, put a period where it says Torch River into Torch Lake, period. This water tributary offers inlet into the northwestern Michigan Chain of Lakes system, a system that's over 75 miles long. Period.
I'm sorry, this water tributary offers inlet into the northwestern Michigan what?
Yeah, it's there. Chain of Lakes system, where the word system is,
Okay,
comma, this is over 75 miles long, if it's true. This water tributary offers inlet into the northwest Michigan Chain of Lakes system, a system that's over 75 miles long.
consisting of 14 lakes, maybe?
Sure. Consisting of 14 lakes, period. There's also access through designated location. Yeah, that's what I would do.
consists of 14 lakes
Consisting of
and is
14
over.
lakes.
Right.
So here's what I wrote or thought I was trying to take down. Period after into Torch Lake, then this water tributary offers inlet into the northwestern Michigan chain of lake system, a system that consists of 14 lakes and is over 75 miles long.
Sounds good.
Yes, period.
But you already have that.
Where?
You already have that after the red. This water tributary offers inlet into the northwest Michigan chain of lake system, but it kind of ends there. And
No.
it,
I would put a comma there.
right, yeah.
And then, comma, a system that's over 75 miles long with 14 lakes or something like that.
A
Yeah, I-
system that
comma, yeah.
consists of 14 lakes and is over 75 miles long.
period.
Then it would pick up with,
There is also.
yeah, there's also access
Yeah,
Mhm.
that'd work.
through designate within township parks to the chain of lakes water trail hosted by Paddle Antrim. Is that what everybody's agreeing to?
Mhm.
Sounds good to me.
So
I'm
over-
seeing it as your panel Antrim connected to the longer than 20 miles, because that's really what that is. You know what I mean? Add those two things together now.
No, that whole sentence is out.
As far north as
Oh.
Eastport, a distance of over 20 miles. So, and I'm,
That's really part of the cattle Antrim.
well,
It doesn't say that. though.
What that's referring to though, and I think maybe we need to maybe expand that a little bit. So there, it's referring to specifically boat traffic within our community can start from Bags Landing on Lake Skegamog or from Whitewater Township Park. So referring to our specific, options. And they can not just go to Elk Lake, but it can also go to not just Torch River and Torch Lake, but also to Clam Lake and to Intermediate Lake.
Yeah, but
That's
how-
those 14 lakes, I'm assuming.
How big do you want to make it?
But I don't think,
Do you
so we
want,
can't take a boat currently. I can't, well, I guess it depends on the size of the boat. I can't take a legitimate boat, not a paddle boat, any further
Or-
north than Intermediate Lake.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we want to make that distinction or if we just want to generalize as.
This is one paragraph in the You can get to Bel Air.
You can get to Bel Air.
Mhm.
Intermediate
Past
Lake.
the dam.
You don't go past the dam, you go up the river.
You're right. Yeah,
But Bel Air has a dam that's.
yeah, that stops it. So you're right.
Well, I guess that the whole reason for this is,
Bel Air and Clam.
Yeah.
Intermediate.
Central or intermediate in.
Right.
Yeah, you'd have to take
That's
your
true.
canoe or kayak out and go to the other side and keep going.
Portage.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to portage it up.
I mean,
So whether we want to make that distinction, I guess.
this is.
I think that's what we said is,
Yeah, I mean, this is
Enough.
the transportation system. We're talking about roads, snowmobiles, boats, and the airport. And somebody on the board just wanted us to try to clean this up. Maybe we'll muddy it more, but I kind of like what Cheryl wrote there.
But we're talking about Grand Traverse County, not Antrim County too. I mean, our plan is for Grand Traverse, even though we connect to Antrim and points north.
well, because Elk Rapids, I mean, do you want to say boat travel can travel from Bags Landing on Lake Skegamog or from Whitewater Township Park on Elk Lake? Period. Do you want to leave into Elk Rapids or throw the Torch River into Torch Lake?
I think so.
Okay, and then the sentence that we added, this water tributary offers inlet into the Northwest Michigan Chain of Lake system, a system that consists of 14 lakes and is over 75 miles long. I kind of feel like we stole that wording and maybe we should attribute it to where you read it from. What did you read that from? According to what?
Well, I read part of it from.
I mean, it's
Elk
all over the
Rapids
place.
Chamber,
Yeah, I don't
and
think
he
we
read
have
it
to
from
quote that.
something
We don't have
You
to
don't think
bookmark
so?
that.
No.
And I
Okay.
think that's.
You don't
It's
think
on the
so?
same wordings on Google, the same wordings on Wikipedia, the same wordings on
Okay, all right, so
several different sites.
it's already been passed around.
It's on Michigan Water Trails. It's
Yeah,
on,
right. Okay.
it's even on Michigan.org.
So the whole paragraph then is, as I have it, boat travel can travel from Bags Landing on Lake Skegamog or from Whitewater Township Park on Elk Lake to Elk Rapids or through the Torch River into Torch Lake. This water tributary offers inlet into the Northwest Michigan Chain of Lake system, a system that consists of 14 lakes and is over 75 miles long. There is also access through designated locations within township parks to the Chain of Lakes Water Trail hosted by Paddle Antrim. Is that how you want it to read?
I think that
Sounds
great.
good.
Yes.
Sounds great.
All right, so that was page 10.
Mhm.
Then on the very next page, this isn't red because well, I guess I did make it red. It used to say community administrative structure. This was a change that I offered because in the DNR checklist, it's called administrative structure. And I actually fixed it in the table of contents too. It should just say administrative structure, not community administrative structure.
That's fine.
Okay.
So I made that black. Okay. This is just another observation. On page 12, there were no text changes. let's see, page 12. Yeah, no
Remove
text
hyperlink.
changes. Ron observed the document is more historical than forward-looking. So that's just something he passed along.
Is that bad?
I don't know that it's true, actually. That's really not my opinion, because I think with all the other planning and everything that's in there and talking about improvement stuff, it is forward looking.
Why did you remove the website link?
I removed the website link because Ron wanted, remove the website, page 12, remove website homepage link at the bottom. And then he wants these documents actually linked to the pages on the website that they go to. So I can do that for the first three. The township, the park policies and procedures manual, that's never been on the website. We've never had the procedure manual. And in fact, the procedure manual changes from time to time as you update procedures for like taking credit cards, or, you know, they come up with a more streamlined way to.
Why is number 4 even there, period?
It shouldn't be there.
I don't
That's what
think
I'm
it should be
suggesting.
there at all. I
And-
don't, I don't want policies published.
No.
And I don't want
that's-
the procedure manuals published. The rules, sure, the general park rules.
Right, yeah. Yep, I agree with that. So
I
I
think that
will,
4th one should be deleted.
I just deleted that. Thank you for
Mhm.
that. And I'm going to, I will link these things, like tomorrow I can link these things or something, you know. Because we have all this stuff that's on the website that we can link to. So I will put those links in.
All right.
The next one is on the next page, description of the planning and public input process. Okay, so this is where it gets into the acknowledgement thing. You guys had everybody's name listed in here, but they wanted those taken out and to put an acknowledgements page. And we do have that in the
Page
township
3,
master
okay,
plan.
Gotcha.
And it's a whole page for the master plan because there's a lot of different people that contribute to that. But that's what, and so I took that out of the first red paragraph there. I took the those names out, right, of that paragraph. And then I put them.
I think it looks good the way you did it.
I didn't want to create another page because that was going to throw all the page numbering off again. So I just put it at the end of the table of contents. Now it was, the thing was remove specific names, but add an acknowledgement page near the front for those who contribute to the plan, past and present, with date. Okay, well, so I didn't look up all the dates that you guys have all been on this committee. Do we need that?
No,
No,
I did put, and if you guys want to change this, I don't care. I wanted to make sure that Denny Leach was mentioned here. And I put, you know, departed this life September 2020. We can change that to anything else that you want to say.
that's on page 3 or 2.
That's
isn't it?
on page 3. And then Lois and I are other contributors to the plan.
Yeah.
Lois's name, for instance, is on the acknowledgement page of the plan, of the master plan for the township.
Sure.
So we're just separate contributors. And can you guys think of anybody else we should add to this that have been contributors? I mean, we've got some room here. We could do that. And back to the first thing, I don't think dates need to be in here
Mhm.
unless you guys want me to research
No.
when you got on the committee, because it's gonna say like year to present, you know, a year to present. To me, it's obvious, you're on the committee, you know.
So on page
And this
13.
is everybody that was on the committee
Right.
when you started going through the rec plan.
So on page 13, what is written in red is what you would like to be on page 13.
Yeah, I changed, like I say, I took the names out of that first paragraph. So that is what it was. Then I got a little more detailed with the, when you guys approved the resolution recommended adoption of the plan, when the final draft was available from October 25th through December 14th. And then notice of we actually have to upload these notices to the DNR and the resolutions. And I have those documents all created already. But so this is just how the plan got, made its way through the committee and then got adopted. Now, if there's anything in there you want me to change, I'm good with changing it.
I think it's fine. I don't know, everyone else thinks, I think it's. Yeah.
Back to the acknowledgements thing where you wanted to have a date. Should we just put a range like above all the names? Like years, or should we just?
Oh,
put
we
the-
could put
or
Parks
should we
and
just put
Recreation Advisory Committee,
Or should we just put the dates for the version of the plan?
I think the fact that the title page says it's the recreation
Yeah.
plan from this year to this year, I think.
Good enough.
I think it gives it enough date status.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
don't
just
think we
great.
need to.
I wouldn't put dates. I
All
mean,
right.
nobody wants to know that Melissa's been on this committee.
No,
for
I'm not talking
25
individual
years.
dates.
No, nobody wants,
Or
not
is
even me.
Is it your 25th year?
I ask that myself all the time.
Is
it done?
So is there any
Like,
changes you
everybody
want to
joined or what?
make on the acknowledgement page?
I think it's all right.
I think it's fine.
I think I spelled everybody's name right. And do you want to say anything different after Dennis's name there? I mean, I think we should acknowledge that, you know.
Well, he
he's-
was on the committee when this recent plan was started.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was.
So
Yeah.
he's got to be there.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's fine.
and I think page 13
And you know,
is
he was
fine.
an original member of the committee too,
Yeah.
when it first started. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna make that black because I'm not hearing any changes. And then back to, what page was that? 13?
13.
Are there any changes there in any of that wording?
I think it's fine.
Is it important that there's a members present, one vacancy?
Well, I did say was unanimously adopted. I guess no, it doesn't necessarily have to
Yeah, you
be,
said on.
except they're going to see
Yeah.
the resolution, and
Okay,
that's
good to
only
say.
gonna have 4 names on it,
I see what you're saying.
you know?
I mean, it's fine. That's it.
I mean, I can take that out if you prefer. It doesn't matter to me.
I would do it as is.
So
I
let's
still
see.
like going through the pages and there's actually pictures of our actual property.
Yeah. Okay. so
Instead of
that
somebody
was-
else's, like the last one.
Okay, and then the
Some random
last
Google picture.
one, the last one was on page 19. And that had to do with what's in red. I went back and pulled out the resolution because not too long after I got here, there was the stone that's out at Lossy Trail at the Cook Road entrance honoring, that came through the board. It had started before I got here, but then it got finished up after I got here. And that was, her family wanted that put there. And so I went back and I actually had drawn up the resolution to, you know, it's a several page thing, several paragraph thing, I'm gonna say. But anyways, for her diligent efforts in acquiring Lossy Road Nature Trail from the Grand Traverse County Road Commission in 1992. She actually left the board in 92. Not very long after the township got the trail from the County Road Commission, but it was her mission to acquire that trail from the County Road Commission. And so
I remember them coming to the meetings about the stone.
Yeah. Yeah. So does anybody have any changes they want to make there?
I think it looks fine.
I think, I didn't know that. I think that's great.
Yeah, that was her, kind of her project. I didn't know her at the time, but. And that was the, yeah, we already fixed page 10, and then I will do the document links. That'll be the last thing that I have to do to, I think that's the last thing. I checked all the, I'm pretty sure I checked all the table of contents, page numbering with the, oh, I see one thing, plan adoption on page 4. I put plan on December 14th, that's something I filled in. So I'll make that black. That was a red one. Yeah, I think the only red thing that's left is the links, where I need to put the links.
Hmm. And you got rid of that fourth one.
I've taken out the 4th one, yep, so I'm just leaving that in there, that I need to link those
Mhm.
3 documents to, in the plan, make them hyperlinks. I think Melissa did a really nice job adding all the pictures.
Mhm.
There's a lot more pictures in this one than the last one, and I think that is helpful for people.
So that means it's done?
Well, does this now go back to the board or?
No, they adopted it with these
Changes.
changes.
So it is done.
It is done.
Yep.
And it needs to be done because it's got to be uploaded to the DNR by February 1st.
Should we have like fireworks or something?
Yeah, no kidding.
Shots.
Yeah. Lori, are you responsible for bringing that, Brandon?
That was, I
No,
think,
they
the
were, it was just here when we
responsibility
showed up.
of the vice chair.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. So, yeah, no, those were the board's comments on it, and then this other appendix 2 that appears on page 28. The listing of the appendices by letter and where they are, that was something, remember, you wanted added. And so, yeah, I think it's done except for those 3 hyperlinks.
Looks great.
I think so.
What do we do with all our spare time now?
Well, I think we should start the process for the next plan.
Yeah,
Okay. I think let's start 25.
right.
You know, it's so funny because the last time we went, we did, like, I swear it took 2 years to.
Well, you made a lot of
It did.
changes.
It took forever.
It took forever. So I'm thinking this time around, like,
Easy.
we're not, yeah, easy money, right?
The,
Like, no.
I came across, because I have this huge folder with all recreation plan stuff in it. And I came across last week, I have a folder with the old maps
Oh,
that were in the they were terrible.
Yeah.
Mhm. You
You
couldn't
know,
even read what they
The,
said.
the maps have been so updated and just, you know, they've,
Well, it had all the wording on the maps, but you couldn't read what the words said. All you
Yeah,
could do was
right,
see the
yeah.
map. I'm
yeah.
like, well, this is useful.
But we've had a lot of, you guys have had a lot of new maps made
We have, yeah.
and stuff, you know, and then we had to have that one redone that didn't properly show all what, you know, it had an extra piece of property in Battle Creek Natural Area that really wasn't part of that. And by the way, I give out that map a lot. I just had a guy come in here the other day. I print that map for people, like probably
Which
at
one?
least once a month, the Battle Creek Natural Area map. Because this guy, just people come in and they want to know where is it at, and And, yeah, I don't know where all of them are from, even some of them are from here, some aren't, but, and they want to know about the hunting and, you know, this type of thing. And, so I give that map out a lot. I print it in color.
Is
because
that
that's the only-
appendix O?
I don't remember what
But
appendix
anyway,
is.
you don't have to look. I was just,
Yeah,
No, it's higher up than that, I think.
well, appendix O is what shows the trail with the Lossy and. the
It's
BCA.
appendix L, I think.
that's the
No, no,
Lossy
that's not
Road.
it.
That's just the Lossy Road.
No, it is O, you're right. Battle Creek Natural Area Properties Map. That's the one I give out frequently. Because people, they're just interested in that area. There's beginning to be more interest in that area, I think.
Is there any reason for us to go through and review any of the post completions? Are you
No.
comfortable with that?
Those,
Just asking a question.
You could,
Don't ask.
you could say
Those-
anything with that comment. I mean, no.
and those have already been approved by the board.
Okay, well, then we
So,
don't even need to look at them.
Marked in red.
right, yeah,
Shut that.
yeah.
Do you know, I said it tongue in cheek, but actually it'll be 24 months when we start to work on the next plan.
Make it 30.
30 months, but it's right around the corner.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, and that was actually one of my comments, and I should have made it that night on the meeting, but it was during my working hours, so I was actually trying to train someone and be sort of listening to the meeting at the same time. I'm like, am I up yet? Am I up yet? So I didn't make the comment, but I wished I would have, that the dates really for our plan should be 2022 to 2026. Because
Yeah, well,
legit, that would
really,
give us
they
5
should,
years.
yeah, but it was adopted in 21. So, that's why it's.
But that
20
doesn't
Just for a
matter.
few
It's
days.
not when it's been accepted by the
Yeah.
Michigan DNRs.
So I'm gonna say it
I
goes
think
till
had to do with having gas.
December of
I think the
2025.
problem was then you
Well,
were
would it?
Right, is,
Yeah.
You would.
is when we would be
2022.
adopting.
I don't know if that would be a
again.
problem, but you're right, it would.
12, 25, 25.
Oh, I didn't, okay, I didn't hear that.
Well, I checked with one of the concerns was if we made it 2022, would it affect our waterways grant?
Right.
And I talked to the guy that is our contact person at the DNR for the waterways grant, and he said we didn't need the rec plan for the waterways grant, but he didn't want to speak for anything else that,
We did all this for nothing.
no. No.
And we have
But,
lots of projects we want to look, we want to try
I'm
to
just
get some
kidding.
money for
Yeah,
coming
Yeah.
up.
so anyways, and I told Lois earlier, you know, I expect to be retired by the time this plan needs to be reviewed again. And the committee might want to consider getting some, maybe, you know, there's a lot of these firms that do help townships with rec plans, and you might want to at some point get some professional advice. You know, I mean, I think you
Right.
guys have done a great job on this rec plan. Don't get me wrong. The last time it went to the DNR, there was nothing, and let's hope it sails through the DNR again this time. There were no comments back, oh, you're missing this, you're missing this. You know, there was nothing like that. So hopefully it's all in order again this time, you know, but, you know, and for the future, you might want
Well, you know, maybe if you are retired, then we could just appoint you to sit on this board
to,
to kind of help through things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe just, you know.
That was a quick no.
Can we hire you to be the professional to
You could
redo
make-
the plan?
no,
you can make
I
money
don't
at
hold
that
those
to do those.
qualifications.
Well, you already done it twice, so, or
Yeah.
at least once,
Yeah, well,
so
anyways,
we can hire by experience,
yeah, that's true.
not to have a degree.
So my goal this week is to, by the end of the week, my goal is to have this uploaded to the DNR with all the other stuff that has to be uploaded, and follow the little checklist thing and get that stuff all uploaded through the website and submitted.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for all your work in getting on these little,
Both
Things down
of
here
you
and-
two did just a layman's job, boy.
Yeah,
It's a very detailed work. It's just,
glad to have it move forward.
Yeah,
Okay, so the only other unfinished business we have, are dugouts, parks and trails statuses. Updates. I'm not sure that we have any updates, but
I'm just really happy that the dugouts are still on the agenda.
well, I'll let Cheryl quit typing.
did anybody talk to?
well, I haven't done too much else, to tell you the truth. I haven't talked to Lynn, but I need to call him because we are starting budget. I have to have the Parks and Rec budget done by the 17th of February. We're having a meeting that day. We're doing the fire budget the week before that, but so I have to have that done. So I really need to get a figure from him and call the A1 concrete guy too, or A+ concrete guy, and make sure that we've got good solid numbers
If you
for the
just
budget.
throw in like 70 to 80K, we should be fine.
Yeah,
As over budget.
right, yeah. But I'll
So
bring
that
that,
being said, I guess, Cheryl, so we are gonna have a meeting on the 14th.
yeah, I'm hoping that I'll be my plan is that you'll be seeing the budget that I've come up with.
Okay, so we can go review it and maybe
Yeah,
make any
right.
comments. Okay.
Yeah,
So basically, the next meeting is gonna be budget meetings.
yeah.
Fire up.
And remember that you'll have your February meeting and your March meeting really to talk about budget, because if we have something, like if you have something that you want to change in February, then I can make that change, although the budget document might have already gone out, but I can make the changes at the meeting. But then you'd have another meeting in March in case you find something else. Oh, let's add this or
So
whatever.
you're not finalizing it on February 17th.
No, that's
Okay.
when I take my recommendations to the board,
Right.
and the board decides, well, let's change this, or what about this, or what about that? And then those figures go to the budget public hearing, but you'd be having another meeting after that before the budget public hearing, your meeting in March.
Right.
And so, there's a chance for additional input at
Okay.
that meeting too.
Always the question. The monies that were already approved
From last,
from last year for the dugouts, does that have to be reapproved or is it just roll forward?
I need to take a look at that. The money that's not spent certainly stays in the rec fund, I can't remember. Let me just look at that real quick. I want to see
Our next meeting's the 14th, right?
Always the question.
our next meeting is 14th. Isn't that Valentine's?
Valentine's.
That's huge.
We're gonna celebrate Valentine's together?
You know what? I couldn't think of a better group to celebrate with. Okay?
There
I'm
you
not
go.
gonna be here.
Ah,
There's always one.
crushed.
I'm
Crushed.
driving back from Florida.
Oh,
I don't know what time I'm gonna get home.
Oh, I might not be here. I'm flying back from Nashville.
I will be here because I do not have a life.
I'll be here because I don't have one either.
There you go.
I'll be here because.
Well, I'll
of
be
that,
here
and
too.
I can't go to Florida.
Yeah, right.
Poor thing. Let me, maybe my flight's earlier in the day.
Oh,
Can't
you are
go?
going to Florida now because of your foot?
No, I'm not hobbling around.
Yeah,
I
no.
go there to help take care of my dad, not.
Have him take
He's
care of
taking
you.
care of it. Yeah, right.
The other way around.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Dad, push me faster.
Yeah, right.
You
Oh,
really need
I'll
to
be back.
exercise.
I'll be back in time.
Will you?
Yeah, I fly in at 1:30.
I'll have by your next meeting, I'll have what what's in the recreation fund, and I thought I could pull the document out real quick, but I've already filed it away. But I'll have that, and we'll just look at the whole budget, we'll look at all the projects, and we'll just decide what, you know, what you guys want to have in there, and, you know, not a lot of money was spent this year,
Right.
not a lot of stuff got done. So, a lot of it's gonna be just kind of re-proposing those things, you know. But we have to
So-
get the dugouts done. We just have to get that done.
So did you find out the answer of Lois's question then? Do we have to go through a reapproval process of specific projects that were already approved?
I think I'm gonna shoot that by the board and see what they say about that, because that was already approved.
Right.
The dugout
I mean,
project
unless
was
we need
already
to
approved.
reapprove
And
it
it's,
for more funds, that would be the only,
yeah, right.
I
And,
would say we'd want.
and it's less than what we got approved,
Well, but we don't know that. We haven't
Um,
gotten revised numbers from Concrete, we haven't gotten revised numbers from Lynn, we haven't gotten,
Well, true, but
Drawing
certainly the
fees.
revised numbers from, well, I shouldn't say that, because remember, Perfect Fence gave us a pretty low number to start out with. And then they went real sky high, but, so anyways, we'll have to take a look at it.
okay, so on the, I guess.
You
maybe
think
I
she
should-
misses talking to us?
Who, Barb? I don't know, but I don't miss her. So
I made this comment in the email, but, and I talked to Brandon about it. I was thinking about putting out, a comment or an email, or maybe I'll give her a call to Amber Voice. To
Oh,
see
yeah.
if she would be interested in joining the PRAC.
Oh,
I think she could lend being with
Yeah.
the baseball.
That's a good idea.
league,
yeah,
if she's got the time to commit, if you
Yeah.
guys don't have a problem with me throwing that
I don't
to
know.
her. And anyone else that you guys think would,
Yeah,
We need like 3 more.
we really should have,
yeah.
right?
I
Or at least
think,
two.
I'm wondering if I have the most recent bylaws, because I swear the bylaws said something about alternates. And so I'm wondering why the two, because one I have is a PDF that was created in 2019.
Well, it started out right in the
I have
beginning.
that memory too of
Yeah.
something,
That
but
there being something in there
Yeah.
about alternates, so I'm gonna. I
Well,
made
right
a
from the
note to
very
look for
beginning, we
that.
had an alternate. When
Yeah.
when it was first started.
Yeah, exactly.
We had 2, didn't we?
Yeah. So I'm gonna look around for that.
Didn't we have
I don't
2?
think it was in the beginning. I
It
think
was
that,
close.
I think the 2 alternates were added right about the time we came on board.
What year did you guys come on board?
I think it was at the beginning.
Let's see,
Yeah,
Caleb was
Yeah,
in
you were at the
Little League,
beginning.
so 2.
Yeah, I was at the beginning because Larry Lake called me and asked me if I'd be interested.
right, yeah. And then didn't you come on a little bit after that, when somebody moved out of the township? I vaguely remember there was a lady that moved out of the township and was gonna serve, but then didn't, like for,
Maybe, I don't even remember.
you might
that.
not have known about that.
It was me
actually.
and Denny and
I know the,
Mary Whitbro? There was a Whitbro.
Jorgensen was on it.
yeah.
Paul Jorgensen was on
yeah.
it.
Bill Mauser was on it.
Yeah, Bill Mauser.
He was the chair.
Did y'all know Bill Mauser passed away?
No.
Oh,
Yeah. I didn't know about it until I saw it. We get a copy of the death list from the county every month. And I saw his name on there.
Hmm.
It was in like October.
Wow.
He
Hmm.
died from complications of COVID. Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know the exact year. I feel like it was maybe around 2012.
Yeah. I think you were on it when I got on the board in November of 12.
Been about right. I was on it, right, I was on it just before because, what was her name? before?
Mary Whitbrow, Mary
No.
Whitbrow, I think it was.
Because Bill
No,
was
the
the chair at the
supervisor,
beginning.
Carol.
Oh, Carol, yeah.
Carol actually was the one who I met first. As
Oh,
far as
okay, yeah.
on the board, so, but she was roughly, I think that was like the end of her term. or
Yeah,
whatever.
I took Carol's place. She decided not to run again
Really,
that
yeah.
year.
So as far as the dugout, so the next step is we need to get an updated cost from Lynn, and I think when you and I spoke, I said, could we have him move forward with making sure these drawings can go to the
Yeah.
Grand Traverse
Yeah,
Commission, or not commission, building, yeah. To see if that permit can be modified accordingly, and if we hopefully can get by with not having a stamped drawing. Because if we
Yeah.
have to get a stamped drawing, we really should be moving on that
yeah, exactly.
months ago.
Yeah,
So, I mean, because, I mean, I know that kids don't necessarily, it's not that they don't have anything to
Yeah.
sit on now,
Yeah.
but
right.
it's not sheltered and it's
No,
not
no.
finished, so.
No, I think we need to do everything in our power to get those dugouts done between the 1st of April and the 1st of May.
I think we should try to get that fence fixed too, while we're doing that.
Who do you think we should call about that?
I knew that was gonna come.
Is the board getting any closer to hiring a handyman? Or is that?
Well, it's interesting you say that because they are starting to realize, I think, that they are gonna have to do that, and that we really need to have a place for that person to work out of. That's one of the issues. We don't have a place for them to work out of, a garage or anything like that. We literally don't have a place for them to work out of.
The only thing you have is the shed at the park.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's not,
That's not enough.
no.
I wonder if,
It's gotta be something that you can get a vehicle inside.
Do you think COVID money can buy that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because I know all the townships are looking really, what are they gonna do with their COVID money?
Yeah, exactly. And we are too. We didn't get that much though, 294,000. That doesn't go real far. But
It would be a nice little boon to get
It'd be a
those
nice shed.
trees removed so people can use the trail systems again.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, that's, if you want an update on that.
yeah,
So Josh,
Mhm.
you had talked to Josh. And Josh went out there, and I think he had some help, but he actually marked all the trees and did an inventory, and he took a map, one of those Battle Creek maps, and he sectioned off the trail, Battle Creek Natural Area Trail and Lossy Road Trail. And then in each section, he counted okay, there's 8 popple, there's 2 pine, there's, whatever. He made a list of the number of trees and the types. And then he also put together a cost for, getting the trees off the trail. And so, see, we only had one bid when we put out for this arborist forester thing. We only got one bid, and it was from a place in Washington State. Not even anyone here, but we had, I put it in the paper, and then we had done this before. So we had these vendors' email addresses and stuff that had bid on it previously back in 2016. And so I actually sent it straight to those people, the bid package. And we had 2 or 3 of them say that we just don't have the time. We're working on other residential work from the 2021 storm, and we'd like to help you out, but we don't even have time to put a bid in on this. We are busy for the next year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah. And then Partial Tree Care Experts, formerly Partial Tree Service, who did the tree inventory for us in 2016. They were the ones that got the bid for it. They got their bid in late, just last week. So at the next meeting, and then I've also contacted, the board wanted me to contact this Jim Wade from Wade Logging. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, I received mails from him,
Oh, do you really?
mailings from him all the time.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyways, I talked to him last week, and what he does is, and I don't really think the board really wants to do this, he goes in there with a semi, and he, hauls logs out, and he pays you for the trees. You don't pay him. But, then you've got to make sure that they're cleaning up the tops and, that kind of stuff. Well, Josh had said, I talked to him about this guy, and he said, yeah, he's gonna want to take a semi in there. He said he's gonna really destroy like Lossy Trail on that west end where it's wet, he won't be able to get through there without damaging the trail, So I don't think the board really wants
And
him.
he
There won't be a-
doesn't pay much either, because a friend of mine had him come out after the last storm. And
Really?
He had big maple trees and oak trees this big around or bigger.
Yeah.
He'd give him $1 a tree.
What?
Yes.
Oh, you gotta be
And that
kidding.
was if my friend topped him.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that doesn't sound like
No,
anything we
that's
want to
the-
have anything to do with. And I think a lot of the trees that are in there aren't really worth that much.
He'll only
I
want
know.
the good stuff.
Yeah, that's just it.
Then
Then
leave
what
all
about
the
the other
rest.
stuff?
He'll leave the garbage behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So anyways, the board's got to take a look at, Josh's and partials, bids at the next meeting and try to make it fairly. The other thing is, see, we don't really know even where we're gonna get the money.
You know what the bids were?
Well, I don't want to say because no, partial bid is sealed and I don't want to say what Josh's bid was, and I didn't put it in the board packet. I blacked out the prices because I didn't want anybody else trying to undercut him. You know what I'm saying? By making that information public
Until after the meeting.
until after the meeting. But, so I think either one of those, and we're kind of skipping a step here because we were gonna have the tree inventory and then have bidders bid on it, so I'm not sure if partials maybe just bid on the tree inventory part, but Josh has kind of already marked the trees and bid on getting them out of there, or getting them off the trail at least.
That's what I called him. I'm like, you should just go out there and just come up with a bid, just the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah, and that's what he did do.
So I know that's not what they asked for, but just.
Right, yeah. And,
What you got to
and the
lose?
thing is that they do like to do it, more this time of year when the ground
Yeah.
is frozen.
Especially in that area.
Things don't get so torn up. Even the Wade logging guy said, well, if I got in there now, he said I would only be able to be in there for about, a month. And then I'd have to pull out because the frost laws go on. And then you can't get back in there till the frost laws go off, but then it's wet. And,
That swamp.
yeah,
Yeah, good luck with that.
so that's kind of the update on that.
How would he even get in there?
I don't know how he would get
Just-
in there.
he
I
would
can't
just-
imagine. Well, he did say for Battle Creek Natural Area, he said the only way that he sees that he would be able to get in there is by accessing it from Annette Jacobson's property to the north. Annette Neske is her last name, but it's Mike Jacobson's sister. She's got a piece of property to the north of the park because he said he could never get in like where the entrance is off Skigama. It's too many low hanging branches and all that kind of stuff,
I wouldn't.
So
have-
I don't think the board's gonna be interested. in
I sure
using
hope
him.
they aren't, because he'll just tear the whole thing up.
Yeah, you will.
I do think we should really press for COVID funds to be allocated towards this tree and
And I'll tell
restoration of
ya,
our trail
um,
systems.
The
Yeah,
county,
personally.
they got 18 million. And they are just starting their process and they've hired a professional firm
I heard that.
to help them with that.
Mhm.
But Daryl Nelson, our county commissioner, he comes to our meetings and he has said repeatedly that they want to partner with the townships and get some of that money out to the townships. So it'd be really nice, but there's only certain things you can use it on,
Mhm.
you know, so, and I haven't totally read up on what all the things are that you can use.
I mean, what's some of the things that you've heard of?
Well, like water, sewer,
Internet.
broadband, you know, and we have already committed some of the money to broadband for underserved and unserved areas of the township. For instance, like Bunker Hill Road that doesn't have broadband down there. You know, Della has no internet at her house.
You know, the other one that's kind of odd.
She can't stay at home. When you could stay at home and go to a meeting, she couldn't do it because she
You
doesn't
know,
have.
the other
internet
road
there.
that's kind of odd is Park Road. I
Yeah,
have broadband on my side,
yeah,
but the other side doesn't have it.
no, charter doesn't go down there.
But there's more houses that way than there is my way.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, I know.
That
That's
is
weird.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. It probably
those-
was just easy to go to
and you
your
know it's-
house, Brandon. Do they have it further down the road? There's a couple of
Yeah, all the way
houses past
down.
you. Do they?
Probably
Yeah.
because it's a connector.
Oh, maybe.
Connect to what?
Yeah, what's that connect to?
It's a
down
dead
there?
end road.
Oh, it is?
Oh,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. I'm
That's
thinking
a-
Angel Road.
No,
Yeah.
not Angel. He
Oh,
lives off Park.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the west end of Park.
Yeah.
Well, if,
And then that tower's down there, you know, they ran some big cable down there for that,
Yeah.
communications cable, but they don't have broadband.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
you
that's
got the
weird, but
tower.
whatever.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Okay,
yeah.
so I guess on the, from COVID fund standpoint, you know, if there's anything that we can do to help facilitate, but I think
Yeah,
the tree removal is justifiable from the standpoint of we're opening up, you know, access for the community to have a place to go, an outdoor, safe place to get fresh air.
yeah.
I
We've
think.
got trees down on the trails at the park too. And so Ben Quast was supposed to be giving me an estimate on that last fall and he never did. And I need to follow up with him on that because we got some places that, you know.
So I was gonna go snowshoeing. Are you telling me that I shouldn't go snowshoeing there?
Oh, I think you can get around it or over them.
Okay.
I haven't seen all the places.
Oh, okay.
Another interesting thing
I'll just bring my
is
chainsaw.
just last week, I don't know if y'all know who Angel Scroggins is,
Mhm.
but she contacted Ron and she sent him some pictures of a trap that was found out of the park. Now, I was told in the email from Ron, I've not talked to Angel Scroggins, that she found it while walking dogs near Site 16. Now, the trail doesn't go anywhere near Site 16 because Site 16 is up on that bluff, you know, and the park trail doesn't go by there. So anyways, Ron was wanting to ask me, well, what are the trapping rules in Whitewater Township Park? And of course, well, I don't know. So actually today I
There's no
reported it
hunt-
to the DNR.
There's no hunting. We don't allow hunting.
Well,
on our-
No,
But-
no, that's not true.
That's
At
not
Whitewater
true.
Park?
Oh, yeah.
That is
At
not
what?
true. I believe that is not
Right.
true. There have been no hunting signs up there or out there before, but I don't know what happened to them. If JARS took them down when they put the new trail signs up and posts and stuff, I'm not sure. But let me just finish. The guy's going to determine. I talked to this Lieutenant Molnar at the DNR. I'm not sure where he was at. He said he covers 11 counties, but I sent him the pictures and I gave him Angel and Jeff Scroggins, both of their phone numbers, and he's going to have somebody contact them because see, they took the trap. There's one picture of it in the snow, and then there's 3 other pictures of it like laying on a piece of paneling or something. And so it's clear they took the trap out of the park. Well, the DNR, they want to get the trap, you know. And the one thing the guy said from the pictures, now obviously I don't think you can, it might be on the other side or something, but he did say it's illegal to have a trap that doesn't have your name and address on it. And so that's why they want to get the trap. And then, yeah, it's not clear whether there is no hunting. I contacted Carol Hocken a little while back because there was a question about deer hunting in there. And I know people have deer hunt in there, because there's more than 100 acres there. Now, they may not be hunting in the campground, but like the rest of that property is, I
Sure.
see no reason why people wouldn't be able to hunt on that,
Right.
And Carol could not point to any authority that there can't be hunting in there. And also, we have no local ordinance prohibiting it. So, like Battle Creek Natural Area, Lossy Road Nature Trail, Tobacco Natural Area, those are all huntable, because, and my understanding is the reason they're huntable is because they have received grant funds from the state of Michigan. And when you receive public funds from the state of Michigan, you can't close those areas off to hunting. So, we have people will say, well, people shouldn't be able to hunt like Lossy Road Nature Trail and stuff. Well, they can hunt
So is the
that.
park,
And it's best not to go in there during firearm deer season,
was Whitewater,
Whitewater's a
Grant
state
fund?
grant assisted park.
because it
Yeah.
was the counties, right?
Nope, it was the state of Michigan's.
Oh, it was? I
That
thought
was
the
state of
county, right?
Michigan
Did the county
property.
run it?
No, the county's never run it. But
Oh.
but there's 2 leases in the files here that, where the state of Michigan has leased that property to the township. So, and it has to be used, the leases specify, one, I believe says public park, and the other one says public park or forestry. So that property will never be developed or anything like that, because that would be a violation of the lease.
So was there a campground there when the state had it?
I don't know. I can't remember the dates of the leases. The leases are quite old.
Are they?
I believe they're pre-campground era. Because the campground's been there, I think, a little over 50 years, something
Wow.
like that.
So the township made the campground, you're thinking?
I believe they did. I've been trying to get, every once in a while, somebody will come into the park, and we have a one certain camper who's been coming there, who has come there every year since and he's getting up there in age now. Been there every year since his dad used to bring their family there as kids, over 50 years.
Wow.
And every once in a while, someone will come into the park and say, yeah, I came here as a kid. And they're obviously not like, 20 or something. And so I'll say, if you ever come across any pictures, please let us copy them or get them copied for us or something. I would love to have like a display
Mhm.
of old pictures of the park. I've heard, stories about it, but never seen any old
My
pictures of.
sister got married.
Your
down.
sister's got some?
Well, my sister got married down at the pavilion.
Oh, did she?
Area, but that's not real 25.
Is
Well,
that,
I don't know, 30 years, maybe? almost
Brenda?
30, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So
How
she's
many
got
years? 30 years?
somewhere in there, between
Man.
25 and 30.
Oh, I'd love to see those pictures. Yeah.
I could post on the Facebook page.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, just a handful or something, if she's got copies or
Yeah,
not copies
she
even.
got married right down by the lower part by the pavilion
Yeah,
on the lakeshore.
that'd be awesome to see that. Yeah, if they took any pictures out over the
You can
water.
see me when I was very youthful.
You were very youthful then. Yeah.
You were in what, 6th or 7th grade when you got married?
Yeah. uh-huh. Thanks, Tom.
But, yeah.
All right. Any other dugouts, parks, trails, status updates? Or are we ready?
I
to
got one more
conclude?
quick question.
Mhm.
At Whitewater, down by the beach, did anything ever get done there to deal with the erosion and stuff?
The erosion, well, the water went down a little bit this last year. And hopefully it's gone down a little more this year. And we can get some sand dumped like up near the top. But yes, we do still have that first row, that first thing showing of the fabric. Yeah, but
Well, let's
see, the
think about that,
water
too.
laps up there, and you just can't dump a bunch of sand on that because it's just going to get carried out into the lake, So, yeah, we'd like to get that covered up, but the water's gotta go down. The water's gotta go down more. What's that? Lois?
They can, come out and tell you what can go there to fix that.
Where the water won't come up to it?
Conservation.
Yeah, right, yeah. Well, we had even thought of, maybe, there's some way you can put like a little rock pier out there or something, maybe to stop the wave action, but that almost has to be engineered because, just like how over at Sailor Park, how they don't have a little break wall there. Well, the reason they don't have a little break wall is because they had an engineering study done on that. And the fetch of the water, it depends on the fetch, which I don't claim to understand all this stuff. But anyways, what Jay Zollinger told me, who was the supervisor when that went in down there, the fetch of the water was such that they would have had to dredge it every year. Because that almost faces like northwest.
Yeah, 'cause they just fill it up.
It would just fill it up with sand. So you can't create that maintenance issue for yourself,
Mhm. That's a good point.
But yeah. Anyways,
Okay. Motion to. adjourn?
Motion to.
Do you guys want this for something, or what do we do with this?
Well, we're gonna get probably a finished one.
yeah. Yeah, that was not finished, so we
Do you
can just
wanna just
recycle that.
recycle it?
There's a recycle box right inside my door if you want to
Okay.
throw it in there.
What kind of trap was it? Here?
I have a picture of it. It's called a foothold trap.
Yeah.
So it's not a trap that's pulled